Let's get it.
How many hosts does it take to kick off a recording?
Who knows? Welcome, everybody, to the latest Modernhood episode. It's your three favorite dads. I'm Carlos.
I'm Hansel.
I'm Phil.
Well, we're so glad you're here again and tuning in. Today, we're going to talk about giving the kids everything.
Or not.
I mean, or not. Right. Of course, it's Hansel that's like,
Not doing any of this.
You're not getting nothing. I think that it's an interesting conversation to have. I feel like all of our backgrounds are similar in this capacity, and we've all thought about and talked about, do we, to spoil or not to spoil, and what is spoiling? But that's what we want to kind of dive into.
Yo, we spoil all the way. All the way. All the way. So many things I did not want to buy this week that were purchased. There were 3 trips to Costco through the little aisle. And I got a story. You know, let's start with a story right here.
Story time.
Picture this. It's a beautiful Saturday. We're doing suburban things. We all get into the nice little oversized SUV. Head on over to Toys R Us for people that read, Barnes & Noble. We read books in this house, right? We read books. So I'm like, oh, we're going to go over there. I'm good. I actually put lotion on. I'm like, I did my hair, took the cap off. Curls were looking good. Everybody's happy. Baby girl's like, let's go to Barnes & Noble. Wife is like, let's do it. I'm like, I'm going to get some books. And I'm excited. You know why I'm excited? Because mom is paying. She's using Mom is paying. I'm seeing these cookbooks. I'm going to get these cookbooks. It's going down. So we make it over there. And we're like, all right, get a couple books, whatever you want. It's on mom.
It's on me. No, it's on
on me.
It's on mom. On mom. Mommy's going to take care of both of us. So I pick out a couple things, but then just to let you know, I didn't get my books because I did that thing where you're like, oh, I could buy this here. I could save $15. Needless to say, I didn't get any of the books that I actually wanted. But that's not
treat yourself.
It's okay. That's another podcast. That's another episode right there. So come with me. We're in Barnes & Noble. We're picking out books. Barnes & Noble also has great toys. They got like this German company called like Schlen or something like that.
Sounds like a trap.
Bro, it wasn't trap. It was. So needless to say, we purchased a $30 dinosaur because there's dinosaurs all over the daggone house. Like that's a thing. A dragon. And a horse. Stay with me. We believe in science. We believe in science in our house, right? And let's just say the horse, he's a stallion, and these are like expensive toys, so he is anatomically correct. So we all come home from Barnes & Noble. I'm excited. Comes in. My mom is in town. Baby girl, what are you gonna name? What are you gonna name the horsey? Brown, horsey. This little girl looks up at us. Innocent little eyes. What are you gonna name him?
Oh no,
Penis.
Okay.
No,
I hear my mom in the background. She goes, she did like a spit take. My wife's eyes got big as silver dollars. I'm looking like, oh, okay. And like any good family, you know what you do? You just sweep that under the rug. You just sweep it under the rug. Yeah. Okay, that's right, sweetie. So she heard penis and was like, came running over.
You want him? I got him right here.
He's got him right here. Okay. So we wait a day. I come back a day later. I'm like, hey, baby girl, what are we going to name that little horse? Horsey, brown. She looks at me again. Peanut.
Why are you making me repeat myself? I said what I said.
Has a name.
So needless to say, there is a toy horse with probably $400 worth of dinosaurs from Barnes & Noble. If y'all want to hook us up, we're here. A horse named Peanaz that we just go rock with it.
I
So
mean,
yeah, we bought the horse. We just buy. We just buy.
Spoil. Are you
Spoil.
spoiling, Carlos?
sorry.
Are you spoiling?
Um,
I've been to your
no.
house. You got toys. I know you got toys.
We have toys, but we are not spoiling. We were very intentional with, hey, we can get some stuff, but we don't want to get a ton of stuff. Also, more so because, with the move and the transition that we knew was coming back up north, we didn't want to get a bunch of stuff in the first house. Now that we're here, we're opening up a little bit more and getting a bit more things. But we also unintentionally got her to do this really interesting thing, which is whenever we go to Target, she can touch and grab anything that she sees, because she loves all of the stuffed animal areas. So we'll go and we'll say hi to the friends, and she'll typically pick one out in the first area, and then she just hugs it and holds it. The next area we come across, she'll put that one back and grab another one and holds it. But she knows that they all live at Target. So
Oh, that's brilliant.
once we get to the checkout, it's like, all right, we're leaving. They need to stay in their house. And she puts it back. This
That's
has
brilliant.
worked flawlessly,
That is
with
fucking
one
cool.
exception.
Which one?
One exception
When you
was
bought one.
a week or two ago.
Right.
I had to buy one because it was her and I. We were wandering. Everything was going as planned. She saw a panda and absolutely lost her shit. And she's been in like a kind of a panda phase. So we had like 3 weeks ago, she got her first like walking sleep sack, and it happens to have pandas on it. And she was just like, oh my God, pandas. And she's like, panda, loves it. So seeing the panda stuffy, she was just like, oh my God, panda. And like, she grabbed the panda, held the panda on the entire Target ride. Like, she would say hi and wave as we passed the other aisles, didn't pay mind to anybody. I got to the checkout and I was like, hey, baby girl. And she's like, no.
Not this one.
So
sorry.
needless to say, we came home with a panda. So that's the only time it hasn't worked.
So some spoiling.
Some
You
spoiling.
never-
But yeah, I mean,
You
it's one
never
of those
go
things.
alone, though. Russo, you never go alone. Sorry, but you can't. You gotta have
You
backup.
got to.
You sometimes have to, man. You have to have that break.
No, see,
Sometimes dad has
I-
to record a podcast and they need to go. Like,
No, see, I'm like, nope, not happening. Anytime. Literally, we were at the mall yesterday, and I was like, "You got money for that? What you doing for that?" Like, and listen, it's not that I don't give in, because I do. I'm not gonna like be like, "Oh, I'm this tough guy." I do give in every so often, but one of the things that like we've implemented is, at least when now they're old enough for money, or when they started, or being old enough to understand money, was anything that they wanted, we would just give them their money. Like they've had debit cards for like 5-6 years, all of them. And whenever they want anything, hey, look, chores, whatever, they get their own money. And I force them to, if they want to buy something, use your money. At the end of the day, it's still technically us buying it for them. But when they take ownership of the money part, all of a sudden it's like, hey, can you get me that? I was like, well, use your money. It's like, oh no, I don't want to. I was like, wait. So you don't spend your own money on it. You want me to spend my money? No.
That's how it works.
No.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's an interesting dynamic too, if you think about it, because what you're inherently teaching there is the value of like your money versus receiving a gift.
correct.
And like the gift component is interesting because you can randomly get gifts, of course, but typically there's a reason or like some kind of time bound thing, like birthdays or anniversaries or whatever. So it's an interesting little like almost like thought experiment that you're doing.
We got out of the habit of, or at least trying to, like, gift for special occasions. So it's like, if we have it and you want it, get it. That way we're taking out that feeling of like, oh, this is like, it's special, but it's not special. It's not as special as this experience. It's not as special as this time that we're spending together. So we do it with food. Like, "Oh, you really want a
Mhm.
cookie right now? If you really want a cookie, you can have that cookie. I'm not going to make this into something that you are thinking is a reward.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Eat eat the daggone cookie."
Eat
Um,
the cookie.
Eat the cookie. I'm just saying.
You
But,
know, so that's interesting, and I can see I definitely see the value in that. I think that from our perspective, what we've been trying to figure out specifically, and I've had this conversation before, is that I think it's less of so let's go to the gift giving part first. For the gift giving part, I think that for me is less about making it special and do you really want it, and more about I feel
Mhm,
like what I've noticed with the kids is that living in a time where everything is instant, right? Like literally,
mhm,
my youngest one time something happened where she needed something from school and she's like, "Oh yeah, just Amazon Prime it. It'll be here today." I was like, "Well, that's not how it works, right? Like there's some
it's like,
responsibility
yeah, it
elements that
does.
were missed where you should have told us, 2 weeks ago or XYZ." And it's like, "Oh, yeah, like, no, that doesn't negate the fact that we can get Amazon Prime doesn't negate the fact that you technically dropped the ball, right?" So
Mhm.
I think some of the ideas like, "Oh yeah, I want this and I want that and I want this and I want that." And then in 2 seconds you're gone. It's like, well, do you really want it? Pause, take time.
Right,
Yeah, it's expensive. Well, that means that it takes money, it takes work. So how do we create systems where, hey, you saw it in the store, is on sale. That's right. That's fine. I'll give you the difference if it's not on sale in 2 weeks. But
right,
I'm gonna put a 2 week timer on you so that 2 weeks from now you come back and if you still want it, we can have that conversation versus like, hey, I'm out and I just want something new and it's a flavor of the month and all of a sudden like I just want to walk away with something, right?
right.
Yeah.
Which we
I mean,
haven't dealt with that.
you're lucky you're at a point where the kids actually are starting to understand the value of money, and
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
think even with the little one, I feel like you're doing that work. This one equates money with no, interestingly enough, going to school. So
Mm.
sometimes the argument in the morning is, right? Because somewhere along the line we had some conversation. Mommy going back to school or daddy going back to school to get an advanced degree means more money potentially. I don't know the way this market is going. Who knows? It just might be a crapshoot. But that's
Listen,
what she takes it as. So on some of those days where she does not want to go to school, I don't want money. I'm like, wait, wait, wait,
I don't
wait.
want money.
that's
That's
actually
right.
brilliant though. Wow.
So that is her mindset. She has now
Yeah, yeah,
thought
yeah.
school equals money, and we're like,
I
not
mean,
sure
look,
how we want to navigate that.
we
Right, I guess like
It's
kind of
like,
we
good, kind of bad, right?
yeah.
we all should learn a thing or two from M. Like, I don't want more money.
I don't want
I'm
money.
not
I'm
going to
good.
school.
I like 25 dinosaurs. I'm solid.
I'm see these dinosaurs.
Now, the other thing that I was gonna say was that I've had a conversation about is the how to handle struggle. And I think like giving our kids everything we wanted, I think sometimes what ends up happening is that we end up finding ourselves in a situation where they don't appreciate it as much.
Mm,
And they don't appreciate it as much
Mm,
because it's so easily given. And, it's not like, look, grew up in Harlem, in the projects. I'm not necessarily saying, hey, I'm going to go and take you to, the projects and have you feel what that felt because part of it is, I was able to kind of go to school, get a career, and kind of get to a better place financially that for their sake, but at the same time, there's lessons in that struggle. So one of the conversations
mhm,
that, we have a lot of the time is, I think that where a lot of parents, I think, miss an opportunity, is how do you artificially create that struggle, right? Like, I'm not saying, how do you go ahead and create struggles in the sense of scarcity? How do
mhm.
you create struggle in the sense of timing, right? Again, 2 weeks, you have to wait 2 weeks. That's oh man, I don't want to have to wait, right? How do you create struggles in the form of process? Would it be like, hey, look, you have to be able to anything you get, you have to be able to share with your siblings because technically we all live in the same house. I like different things where, as an individual, they may feel like, oh no, but this is mine, or no, but I want it, or this and that. Like, how do you create these artificial struggles that, in the big scheme of things, aren't that serious, but in their mind, all of a sudden, it's like, man, that just taught me the importance of being able to share, right? Oh, that taught me the importance of
Mhm.
pausing and thinking through.
Yep.
Maybe I don't have, to have XYZ, right? Because I now created a situation where could I get you these two things? Yes, but I won't.
Easily.
Simply because I
Yeah.
don't want to, and you have to learn the difference between opportunity cost of getting A or B and living with that decision. Because if you pick A and then you change your mind, you have to live with it, right? Like, and you feel bad as a parent. Oh man, look, he's sad, but like, that teaches a lesson for
You
the
get
next time,
over it.
right?
Then
Yeah,
hit it
it's
with the
also
opportunity cost. Damn.
I
Oof.
know, right? Like, sheesh. First, you got to do PowerPoints to get Christmas presents. Then you're
Listen,
learning about
for real.
opportunity costs. Jeez. Look, I mean, I think that it's interesting. You all know that I'm big on like terms and like the importance of
Mhm.
words and the intentionality of the words we use. So I agree with you, Hansel, and I definitely we've had that conversation multiple times about how can you artificially provide them those constraints. I don't think struggle is what we aim to impart, because part of what we worked so hard to do, and to
Not
some
the
degree
struggle.
what our parents worked so hard to do, was
Oh,
to remove that
thank you.
element of struggle. And I
Right.
get that removing that element of struggle, yes, then you have to worry about like, all right, little person, like you need to learn some of the lessons I learned, and how can I impart those life lessons?
Same.
So,
We sent them all back to the country.
oh, 100%.
You're sending 'em
Hansel, those kids should be spending a summer in Harlem and being like, figure it out, given no,
You
given no
know,
constraints.
it's true though, and like a lot of times that's why I push them to do things. Hey, look, go. We live in a safe neighborhood, no major roads. Hey, go. Take a 4-minute walk and go pick this up at the library and pick up a book or
Hmm.
go to the grocery store. Like just for them to be independent. And like
Yeah,
I think
like I
like
think
yeah.
what I was gonna say, just to finish out my thought before you get into that story, because I think that you're getting there. It's the part that what we need to introduce is friction. Like, you
right.
introduce points of friction where, to your point about you want two things, you can only get one. That's a friction point where you're going to be like, oh, damn, now I need to be intentional in my choice. Now I
Right.
need to figure out which one I want. Or
You
like
actually
get
have to
one
think.
now and get one later. Yeah. Like, one of the best
Yeah.
examples I can think of was when we went to the pen show, Hansel, and
Oh
your
yeah.
middle one wanted a pen. I was
Correct.
like, well,
Correct.
I have some of the money. I I could get this or that, or I can potentially do this. And one of the best moments of the pen show for me was pulling him to the side and being like, all right, game plan. Here are the questions we would ask if we were making this decision.
Okay.
Ask yourself these questions. Once you ask yourself these questions, great. Now think about it. You can go in and try to negotiate. You can go in and say, hey, I
Hmm.
only have this, I'm missing X. And like, that coaching is part of like, it's a pivotal part, I think, of growing up. Cause like, I didn't have that kind of coaching growing up.
I
And
agree.
it changes your mindset so much, I think.
You hit the nail on the head. I think we're at a position in place, and we have wonderful parents. Get me wrong, but I think we have
Hi,
able
mom.
to do. We're able to do a lot more resource wise, like
Yeah.
time. Like there's some certain things that you can do. I can have that conversation because I agree with you. I don't think we should be rooted in the struggle. I think it is that feeling of you need to make some decisions. And this
Hmm.
choice that you make is going to have an outcome. Is this what you want your outcome to be? You can pick your path, but just
Hmm.
know that one of those paths is going to lead down to what you want. So are you okay with that? And I think it starts young. I ask this little heifer here all the time, like, if you don't go to bed, this is partly how I was raised. If I never had a bedtime. Put this in
Mm.
perspective for you.
Hmm.
My parents were like, "You're still getting up and going to school. You can either
You
take
figure
your
it out.
behind, you figure it out. You can take your behind to sleep or not, but you're still getting up and you're still going to school. So do you want to have a good day? You want to have a bad day? So I feel like the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
what do you want to do? Think
I think
about
like
this.
you guys hitting the head. I think it's not the struggle, and in hearing you guys talk, I think that the word that comes to mind to me is adversity. Because like I
Hmm.
think that the
Mm,
Carl in that story, right? The capstone I think in that story was afterwards, Carlos and I were outside of the convention center, and we're like, "You go in there by yourself and go negotiate. Like, we're here outside. We prepped you. We've, did a little mock, negotiation. But now you go and like, this is your time. Go do it." And I remember Carlos saying like, "Hey, like, I know you're going to tell him that, but, like, you don't want to like peek in." I was like, "No, bro. Like, he needs to know that he
But
can.
that's
He can
real.
fly."
That's parenting. That's parenting
So
because at some
here's
point I'm not going to be here.
Right. No.
You-
But it blew my mind because I had every intention of I'm giving. I
were you
thought we were
peeking?
giving the illusion of the adversity. So in my mind, I was like, cool, we're going to go downstairs. We're doing the whole dog and pony show of like, no, you're going in alone. Da, 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 da. And then like, so he goes in, we give him a 5-minute start. And I look at Hansel and I was like, oh, are we not going in? Like, I thought we were going to like be peeking around and Hansel's like, no, let him figure it out. And I was like, all right, cool. So like we sat down, we had a conversation, we caught up. And then like 25 minutes go by and I was like, yo, do we not
we're like,
wanna
maybe
go
we
in?
should go.
And then, so it was like, I was like, you know what? That's it. We committed to the bit. We're staying here. We're staying put.
Yeah, because we were
30
in the. I mean, he couldn't go anywhere, so he had to come out through the entrance. But still, after 20
But you
minutes,
feel
we were
that
like,
pressure. So then we see 35 minute come through. And I was like, yo, Hansel, I'm all about life lessons, but like, this seems
man.
excessive.
To your point, Hansel. Okay, we're going to go back for a little bit. College, member had my little stick shift Wrangler, had my little Jeep. Hansel's the only other person who drove my car. It was really just the two
I
of
was
us.
sweating too. Like, it's you driving someone else's car, and I had driven stick shift before, but like not continuously. So I'm like, yo, Phil, hard for that, but like, all right, let's do it.
But here's
Especially
the
in
crazy
Ithaca
thing.
of all places.
I know. The way I learned how to drive stick shift, I went out Saturday with my dad. So he got me a car. I was like, look, I'm tired of getting on this bus. I'm making this trip. I have places to be. I'm trying to see, I'm driving down a Penn to see this girl, a friend of mine. I'm going all these places doing these things, but head out to Rhode Island. Anyway, gets me a car, low Wrangler, soft top. Everything's great. I get in. He's like, we go out on Saturday. He's like, I'll teach you how to drive. I'm like, all right. We go up and down the block, up and down the street, around, get on the highway a little bit. I get up the next morning to head back north. He's going to work. I'm like, oh, I'm going to head back to my mom's house. And he's like, all right, get in your truck. I'm like, what you mean get in your truck? He's like, get in your truck. I'm like, okay. He's like, you're going to drive your car today. So he was like, I need to throw you into that pool because if I don't throw you into that pool and let you have to figure some of these things out, you're not going to do it. Or it's going to take you longer to do it. So needless to say, your boy was stalled out at one of the little, toll booth plazas for a little bit. But after that, I was straight. Got on the highway and did my thing. But to that point, I think there's an element of you got to throw them out. You can't hear a movie? Fill me to that. But being thrown in that position was something that I had to learn. I needed to figure out how to make this work for me because he wasn't going to be there to make those decisions.
That's true.
But Phil, you bring up that story, and I realized something randomly. The only 2 times that I've driven stick shift, or not 2 times, but like the 2 points that come to mind was when I first learned how to drive my dad, and then now when I was driving your car, which now we're in a parent modernhood podcast talking about being dads. So I just thought that was pretty cool.
Full circle moment.
Yeah. But what I was gonna say is to kind of wrap it up. I actually thought about something that was kind of funny that I wanted to talk to you guys about, which was I wanted to go real quick before we wrap it up on what is something as a kid that you always wanted but didn't get. That and you can maybe you got it afterwards, maybe you never got it, but like out of curiosity, like what's something as a kid that you always wanted but didn't get? I'll kick off to give you guys some time.
Yeah.
So for the longest time when I was a kid, I wanted a Hot Wheels racetrack, zooming around and like going crazy. And I'm like, man, I would always ask for it. And one Christmas, we did like those letters to Santa. No, it wasn't even letters to Santa. I think it was like a family friend or something like that. I was like, hey, what do you guys want? I was like, oh, I want a racetrack. And I must have been like maybe 10, 11. But for Christmas, which I appreciate, in retrospect, like he brought like a 3-year-old, 2-year-old, like plastic, like toy, kind of playset thing with like a little ramp and like the funny looking Teletubby toys. I'm like, bro, this is not like, this is not I know I said like a car racetrack, but like, I guess I didn't know brands and I didn't say Hot Wheels. So I'm like, thank you. And I'm like, to this day, man, never owned a little, a
A
Hot
little
Wheels
racetrack.
racetrack. And it's like,
Okay.
Damn.
but I
Got you.
did get the kids,
Okay.
funny enough, right? Full circle. One Christmas, I got the kids. There was this startup. I don't know if they're still kind of active, but it was basically think Hot Wheels, but with AI smart cars. So the tracks itself were like smart tracks, and then you connect it to your phone, and you could do
Interesting.
Okay.
power ups, and it would go around. So I would play with that because I was kind of fulfilling my inner child,
Reliving.
like wish there when that one. So I'll throw it to you guys
Interesting.
on something else.
So mine's kind of weird. There was a show in the
Why?
90s
Of course it is.
called Martin. And one of the things that he would always have in his fridge were the small Martinelli's apple juices. And my mom was not buying the Martinelli's because things were like expensive. Even today, I go into Costco, I'm like, man, I don't really know. So we're fast forwarding. I'm now a full adult. I've got my kid and stuff. I'm shopping. I consistently will go in there and I will buy a case. I always had them on hand, but it's these little ones. But I'm not doing it. I got 3 kids. We got a whole household. Like, it's just not happening. So yeah, as an adult, it was the Martinelli's, the small bottle,
the little,
individual, the round one.
Yep.
I made it. Mama, I made it.
Ate it.
Mama, I made it.
Daddy, I
I
made it.
made it.
But it's
That's funny.
it's those apple juices. Yeah.
Yeah. Funny enough, I think for me it's food related too. So my mom, like, I have my love of ice cream from my mom, I'm pretty sure. But again, when you're in a household and it's like, no, we're getting 1, maybe 2 ice creams, and it has to be what everyone can enjoy and what everyone likes. It's like, fine. So the first ice cream pint I loved was vanilla Swiss almond. That's the one my mom loves. I think her dad loved it. So it's a good one. It's good, it's simple. We somehow evolved to Ben & Jerry's Cherry Garcia. That's the one that my mom loved. But I always saw the case, the refrigerator of all these ice creams. And I was like, damn, we can try so many different ones. Like, why do we need to keep getting the same 2? What in the world? It's like madness. Like, we're leaving so many on the table. So I think that now as an adult, that's what I'm like healing as an inner child is like, we walk into the supermarket and I was like, oh shit, there's a new kind of ice cream. I want to try it. Let's get it. And there's always a rotating cast of ice cream that we have in our fridge. Because it's like, I'm going to get it. We can. Why not? Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. That's funny.
Yo.
Good. I love how we're like kind of incorporating that now to our kids. They don't even know.
They don't even
know.
They have no idea. Look, they might not get everything, but they are getting a ton. It sounds like we're providing them a lot of what, they need and will ultimately be most beneficial to them, even if it might not be the 2 things they want at once.
I agree.
So it's an interesting balance to strike.
I'd say one last thing in the words of my dad, I'll take care of all of your needs and some of your wants. And I think
Ooh.
You can take that one. You can take that one to the bank.
It is.
Papa Cooper coming in strong with
for the closer.
finish.
Call him Mariano Rivera for the closer.
Hey, although, I don't know. He has questionable politics now, so I don't know if we want to use that.
A lot of our favorites do, though. It's like, you did what, bro?
Our favorites sound like a lot.
Because like that, it sounds like too many people. All right. Well, on that note, guys.
All right, fellas. On that note, it's been real. We would love to hear from you. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. But let us know. We've heard from some people. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being part of our community, and we
So-
hope you keep
that-
listening.
Is that how the kids do hearts? Is that what they
Peace.
do? Like
Or,
No,
or
it's
like in
the-
Japan.
that?
This?
I'm
There-
cutting
that. Wait, it's another one. It's another one that they do. That's weird.
Phil,
I
you're
don't know.
throwing up.
No, now you throw
Gang
out gang
signs.
signs. We
Gang
don't.
signs.
We can't do that up
What we
here,
do.
Phil. Please, sorry.
Is that the
Man.
close?
man.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
the close, baby.
That's the close.
That's a clue.
We just faded. We, our clothes just needs to be like fade into like just low sound because
Exactly.
it's not clean. It's not like end by. We just like trail away into like parenthood.